Okay, what's up, guys? So this is the app that I was talking to you about in the last video. Well, talk about the message that sender and address from. So the front end is garbage, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it's just to get a small visual. So what this app does, you come here, you connect your wallet. Is it connected? Let's see. Okay, it's already connected. So first, you create an account. Let's say testing 123 at outlook.com. It doesn't matter what you type here, okay? Name, test, phone number 12345 6. Okay, you create account. You accept this transaction. Okay, it changes to and shows you your info here. If you click on this, right now you don't have any activity book, so it's not going to show you anything. I think it console logs. Does it console log that anything? No, it does not. Okay. So what this app does, you come here. I created a faucet. I'm going to show you all the code soon. I created a faucet that I transferred some tokens. You click this button here to add some funds from the faucet to receive my coin. Okay, and I'll put the token address so you can see that it actually appears in my wallet. Okay. I'm gonna see if wait for this transaction, and you're gonna see it's gonna appear on my man, it's taking so long today. I'm confused. Oh, I think okay, so here I see that it worked. Let's see if it appeared on my not yet. So we'll just wait on this. I lost some Sepolia. Okay, so this passed. There you go. I got 1,000 of my. This is my custom ERC20 token. Okay, that I created. I'll show you soon. So then you come here. You click book a dive. So the first transaction, as you can see, like I talked on my last video, it asks you to approve. So it asks you to give permission to the smart contract that's handling this function to take your coins from you. Okay, and if you click on the full transaction, so here it costs 100, but I just approved for 1,000. Okay, because I didn't care. So I think so what happens, okay, I'll show you the code. You understand what I mean. This is a bug that I'm fixing right now. Okay, let's go here. Okay, book diving. Okay, so what I do here is first I call approve transaction, which calls this function here, and this function, it tells the token contract, hey, I want to approve. This is the address of the smart contract of where this function book a dive is. Okay, I want to approve this guy to use 1,000 token. Okay, so I put await here, but if you don't click like, so after this approve function, it's supposed to ask you to make the payment. Okay, so even if I wait, I put await here. If you don't like approve fast enough, so now we're gonna be approving twice, so it's gonna be like 2,000 coins, which is not what you should do, but I'll show you. Okay, if you click like fast enough, then the second part where it asks you to pay appears. Okay, and then you click confirm here. Let me clear this, see if it worked, and then I'll show you the code and explain to you some very basic stuff. Okay, if you already know like how to connect to the blockchain and all that, then you shouldn't watch this video. Okay, this is very simple like explanation on how I did this, how I connected everything to a front end and connected the front end to the back end. Okay, so we'll wait for this to, so I still got some token here. Okay, approved 900. So if everything goes well, if I click this, doesn't show. Wait, why doesn't it not show? So let me change the wallet and see if it updates, or actually let me refresh. Oh, we got an error. Cannot read properties. Okay, so for some reason it's not reading these. I want to put the address of all the contracts here. So stop this, refresh. Let's try now. Okay, so now it worked. So that's a bug I have to fix, okay? But so yeah, you click view your activities, and this sends another function to the same contract that sends you the name. So this is the name of the activity. This is booked on. So I received the time that it was booked on, and I make it like a date object, and I made it so that it expires 2 days after. So if you look here, December 28th, it expires on December 30. This was just like an experience to understand how I could receive some payments from a client. So let's say you wanted to make your online shop. This is kind of exactly how you would receive a payment, okay? You have to, it doesn't have to be a custom ERC token. You could make it so that he pays you in any kind of token you want to your wallet address. But he will create an account here, and I'm saving these accounts into a mapping that I created in the smart contract, and I'm also saving all their activities, and they just call the function and they can view like all their activities here. And it's very simple, but I'll show you how I did it, okay? Very simple. So first, the token. In the beginning, I thought like a token was like something special, but after like looking everywhere, a token, okay, is just an address, okay? There's an address like this, 0x something something something, and then it's a key and pair value, okay? There's a key, and matched to this key there's a value, okay? This is how the tokens work. And this is how the ERC20, I'll show you the source code of the ERC20 and you'll understand what I mean. This is how a token works. It creates this whatever token you want, and then it assigns every address a value. So let's say, so this owner is gonna be an address here. Let's say address of owner is gonna be equal to 100 million because we're sending him 100 million tokens, okay? This is all there is. And this smart contract, it keeps all the balance of everybody who owns these coins, okay? So I'll show you right now what is the ERC20, okay? Because I didn't understand in the beginning. I had to go and read like all the function. I saw some. So what I did, okay, in the beginning, I'll show you what I did to understand this better, okay? I went to CoinMarketCap, and then I think I just picked like a random coin. Did I pick which? So let's pick this one. I'll see if historical data. There was a way to view like I think I have to, okay, 1 second, I'll show you. Smart contract, okay, this is not it. I'll find a ERC20 token. Let me Ethereum ecosystem. I found an ERC20 token. I think this is where I went to look at it. Yeah, I found an ERC20. Let me find some, I don't know what the hell this is. Let's see if I can so if you go, and you could do this for almost any coin, okay? If you click on any coin, you're supposed to go and be able to see the smart contract. This is also how I like because I was seeing like all these guys getting scammed, okay? So just so you know, if you go on this on the address of whatever coin you're looking at, you could see like how many people are holding. So you could see Binance, there's like 33% of these coins on Binance. When you see like a smart this kind of paper here next to an address, this is a contract. But then you could see like all the wallets. Most of these are regular wallets, and how much of these coins they hold, okay? So if you go to like a very garbage coin and you see that one of the address has like 50% of all the coin, it should be a pretty good warning, okay? But this is where you go to the contract. So I went to the contract. Since it's a ERC20 token and it's what I'm building, I think I saw something here like, so I just scroll down a bit, and this is exactly what I wanted to show you, but in the files, okay? You see here there's like a mapping, address, and the value is a UN256, okay? And it's called balance. This is exactly how the smart contract tracks your coin. This is how it knows when you transfer when you transfer a coin from your account to someone else, it goes to your account, it takes the address here, and it goes like minus. If you send like minus 100 coins, minus 100 coins, then it goes to the receiver, it puts the receiver's address here, and it goes plus 100 coins or whatever. This is how a coin works. Okay, it's not like something special. It's just a mapping of address and a value, a key and pair value. Okay, this is all there is. You could put like other stuff here, but I just wanted to see how to. So I was seeing all these guys making faucets. Like I had to go to the website to a faucet and ask for some coin, and I didn't know what it was. So that's why I created a token and a faucet. Okay, that's the only reason. And if you want to see this one, the ERC20, all the codes and all, it's very simple to understand. Okay, you go to, I think it's token. The 721 is the NFTs that has some other functions, I think. And here's the ERC20. Okay, so if you scroll just down a bit, it's exactly, oh, I closed it now, but it's exactly the same thing. You have a mapping of address, a key pair value, and a that's called balance, and this is how it tracks how much each person has in his wallet. And it's a simple like addition and minus. It's very simple. Okay, name of the token, symbol, total supply with the allowance and approve that I talked about in the previous video. So this allowance is when someone wants your coin, you can go and check the last video I made. It goes, I think one of these is like I think this is your address, the address of your wallet, who you wanna give permission to use your token, and this is how many tokens you wanna give permission to them. So when you call approve, this is what it does. It takes the address of who wants your token, who you want to give permission, and it takes the amount, and that's how it allows you to transfer. This is exactly what happens in my application here. Okay, this is exactly what I showed you in the beginning, where it says it's asking me permission. So I'll go very fast, very simple application that I built. Okay, so I'm not gonna go like into every single detail because some of this stuff are like repeated everywhere. Okay, so you have an owner. I'm referencing my ERC20 token here. This token is the Discover Pattaya token that I created here. Okay, so when I deploy this smart contract, I'm gonna get the address, and then with the address, I'm gonna call, since it's a constructor, I'm gonna put the address of my token here, and it's gonna give me an instance of this token, so I can call some functions. Okay, and then the rest is I created a struct, activity struct, has an ID, a name, time book, expires date. This I wish I put some strings because it took me some time to transfer this to a date object. I'll show you in the front end soon. There's a struct, a client that takes the wallet, email, full name, phone number, which is what you see here. So if I switch, so let's say you didn't have an account yet. I think if I disconnect this one, it should work. Oh, just switch to another account. So when you don't have an account yet, this is like a registration form. Okay, let's connect. So as you can see, when you change account, the information displayed here changes as well. Okay, so you go here, view your activities. So this guy has 2 scuba diving activities. So let's say I switch again to, let's say this guy, view your activities. This guy has 1 scuba diving activity. Okay, booked on 23. So I want to make like an online shop, and I wanted to know how can I receive some payment from a client, you know. So this is like a simple application that I built to get an idea how it works. The rest is very like basic stuff. It's a array of clients, array of activities, just in case I want to get like all the activities, I return all the activity. I want to get all the clients, I get all the clients. It's really like useless stuff here, really. The only important part of this application was this one. Okay, was actually this transfer from function that it took me a while to like understand. So once I'll show you how you can compile this with hard hat. Okay, this is what I did. So you go into scripts, uh, I'll show you the I'll show you here because it's very clear. So you download hard hat, okay, very easy. It's gonna ask you the name and all that stuff. Then once you created your smart contract and everything, you type in npx hard hat compile, okay. So once all your smart contracts are written, you're gonna run the compile command, and what this compile command is gonna do is gonna compile, you guessed, okay, but it's gonna put some files inside this contract folder, okay. Inside this contract folder, there is the name of your smart contract .json, okay. So far, the only thing that's important here is this ABI, okay, application binary interface. What this is, it's all the function that's available for this faucet. So I'll take the one in my smart contract discover Pattaya, okay. You see I created a function here, get client by address, get activity by address, okay. So if I go into the file of that smart contract and I go here, you'll see the constructor, see the name of the function, book scuba, get activity by address. This JSON file basically contains all the function that we're gonna call from the front end, okay. This is how the front end is gonna know what function to call on your smart contract after you connect it to it, okay, because it doesn't just guess what function you made available, okay. And I'll show you here. I think you could even see some of them. Pretty sure you could see some. If you go here, you go contract, read contract, is it available? See, you see all the function here is exactly the same thing. It's exactly inside this ABI JSON file, okay. So this is how our front end is gonna know how to call which function, okay, on which smart contract too. So once you compile, you get this contract file, you get these JSON files, okay, which are ABI, and then you have to write a deploy script, okay. There's also a test script, but right now I haven't built anything like complicated, so I test everything on Remix, okay, before I test everything on Remix, and when everything works, I go into Visual Studio Code and I deploy it into whatever network that you want, okay. So deploy, very easy. You call this function get contract factory, and all these functions is from ethers, okay. You see here HRE, this is the hard hat. You could also use that if you go like let me see what it says. Okay, I forgot what it says, but basically this hard hat takes the ERC20. It takes all the not this one, sorry. It takes ethers. What's the ethers? It takes this it takes ethers.js and it wraps it up with some other stuff. But you could use both, okay? Both of them works. I did another app where I use just ether, okay? So if you go into ethers, I'll tell you what it is. It's a library for interacting with the Ethereum blockchain, okay? That's all it is. If you broke your head all this time, that's all you need to know. You need all the functions inside this thing to interact with the Ethereum blockchain, okay? Which is what we're gonna do. So you could read through the API. It's pretty, some stuff explains very bad, but some stuff you don't have to understand like all the details. So what you need to understand, there are providers, which is an abstraction of a connection to the Ethereum network, okay? There's the signers. From what I understood, this signer, so every transaction there has to be a signer, okay? Or else they will not know who sent it and it's just not gonna work. So you have a provider that gives you an abstraction to a connection to the Ethereum network, and you have a signer who has to sign every transaction, okay? That's all you need to know. And then contract, you go to contract interaction, contract factory. To deploy a contract, so the function I'm calling here, get contract factory, where is it? Contract factory. creating an instance. Where was it? Man, I saw it like a get factory contract. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Where the hell is it, man? Contract factory, there it is. So just the contract object is not enough, okay? You need some other stuff to be able to connect. But what is it does? I think it looks like pretty exactly the same thing, no? Hold on one second. I'll check right now. Returns no. Okay, so it doesn't here. It doesn't say. So it says what parameter it takes, but it doesn't say anything else. Get factory. Man, where the hell is it? Properties. Get contract factory. Okay, so they use contract factory. I don't know if it's the same. I never used this one. Okay, so this is why you have to go and read all the API by yourself. Okay, so I just followed some videos and read some stuff, and everybody was using get contract factory. So I have no idea why they were using it, but maybe it's somewhere here, but doesn't matter. So we call this function with the name of our smart contract, always with a await. We call the deploy, and then on this deployed we call the deployed function. Okay, if everything goes well, well, I already deployed this one, but I guess I'll do it again. So if everything goes well, it's supposed to send me here the address of the token, the address of the smart contract, and the address of the faucet. Okay, and here, so this discover Pattaya smart contract in the constructor. So whatever you want to put in the constructor here, when you want to deploy it, you have to put it in the deploy function here. Okay, so here it needs the token address. So because it needs the token address, I first need to deploy the token, and then I pass in the token address in the constructor. Okay, so the deploy is what is gonna take your constructor. The same thing for this other one. Okay, let me see if I'll just deploy this so we can see. npm hard hat. What was the command? I forgot what was the command. It was something like network, deploying your contract. Okay, hard hat, run network. I use the Sepolia network, and then you specify where the script is. It's deploy.js. Hopefully it's gonna work. Oh, I think it's npx. Let me change this to npx. Solidity file successfully. So while it's doing that, this address.owner here, okay, is equal to the wallet that's calling this deploy method. Okay, so in the .env in the hard hat config file, okay, I'll show you in a second. So in the hard hat config file, you need to specify on which network you want to deploy these smart contracts. Okay, it takes the name of the network. This you could put like whatever network you want to deploy it on. If you're doing it on like Solana, you could put Solana here. Did it work? It's still okay. It's not finished yet. So it takes a URL and accounts. So as you can see, look, I deployed it. You see the address of the token, address of the smart contract, and address of the faucet. Okay, if everything goes well, this is what it displays. So in the config file, in the URL, you need to put I'll show you right now. You need you need to go in Infora and create an account. And this is okay. So from what I understood, this is like an endpoint to the Ethereum network. Okay, so I'm a bit confused on what this is. I don't know if it's like a node that's connected to the Ethereum node, but it's not like on the Ethereum node. Because if everyone was like testing stuff on the Ethereum node, I think that the blockchain will like be very slow and the gas fees will be very high. So I think these guys, this is like a, this is kind of like a node, like Ethereum node somewhere that you could use for testing. Okay, I'm not sure what this is. Let me. I read about it, but what is Infura? I read about it, but I still wasn't. Provides tool. To me, it kind of looks like a database that you could send some information and get back some information. And I think it communicates with the Ethereum network somehow, but I'm not sure how this works. Okay, but this is what you need. You go into Infura, you need the API key. You actually don't need this. The only thing that's important here is, so if you use the Goerli network, you choose Goerli. I use Sepolia. So this, you copy this address here, and you have to have a .env file. You make a, in the .env file, okay, you put so I put Sepolia like this, and then I put the URL that I just showed you, and then I put like a, here I put Pokemon because I don't know why I wrote that, but that's like the key. This here, you could put so it's supposed to be a private key, okay, I don't know why I wrote Pokemon, but private key, this private key here is the private key of the owner of whoever's deploying this contract. So if it's you, the owner, which is supposed to be you, you go here into your MetaMask wallet, you click on these three dots, account detail, you click export private key, you type in your password here, and it's gonna give you a key that you're not supposed to give to anybody else. Okay, you take this key here, you put it in the environment file, private key equals your key, and you come back onto this hardhat config file and process.env your URL, and then this one is your private key of your wallet address. This is how hardhat knows who is the owner of these smart contracts. Okay, this is how so here you see I wrote owner.message.sender. This is how hardhat knows who is the message.sender. Okay, who is the owner. So after you compiled and deployed and everything worked, there is a test file here, okay, that you could use. So I think it works with Chai, but I haven't built like any really complicated application that I need to write all this to test it. Okay, in the next one I'll probably do it because I need to learn how to do it, but I just go on, since it's not that complicated, I just go on Remix and I just test them here. But just know that you're probably gonna have a test file here that you'll write for your smart application. Let's say you want to make an online shop, you want to make sure that all the transfers and everything works well, that you don't transfer the money twice, you don't sell your client twice the same item or whatever. So you will come here and you will run the test file here. If you want to know the command, you just come and run in test. This is gonna save the, so the command is somewhere here to run the test. Okay, I think it's like run it's like npx hardhat run test or whatever, something like that. So just a small note. Okay, so that's all you have in your backend. You have your smart contracts, you compile them. When you compile them, it gives you these JSON files in the contract folders, okay, that we're going to use in the front end, and then you deploy them to the network of your choice. Okay, in my case I deployed it on the Sepolia. You know the endpoint, which I show you get from here. You make an account here, and your endpoint is going to be whatever. If you're using the Ethereum blockchain, you go here. I use Sepolia, so I copy this into the environment, and then you run the deploy command, and if everything goes well, it's going to console log the address of the token, the address of the smart contract, and the faucet. Okay, very easy stuff, hopefully for you. If you don't understand, you need to go read the APIs. Okay, in the beginning, like I was following some tutorial, just watching a guy. This is why I'm not writing the code with you. Okay, Just watching the tutorial, you don't learn nothing. You have to go. Maybe you watch the tutorial, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I understood. But then when it's time to go and write everything, you're gonna like freeze because you don't know what to do. So I'm just explaining you what I did. It's very simple, but if you want to learn how to do it, you need to yourself go into the APIs here and see how it works. MetaMask also have a very easy to understand. I went through it today because I was testing some stuff on Vue.js. Very easy to understand API. If you want to read like how MetaMask works, it basically provides injects a global API into the website. So on the front end part, let's see what dependencies I download here. So you need to download ethers, which is what I show you where all the functions are to talk with the blockchain. And then this is just a regular React app, okay? I won't go through everything, but very simple stuff. So first, you create a folder, you call it whatever you want, okay? You need to tell the front end first, after we connect it to it, after you connect, we're gonna connect with MetaMask. You need to tell the front end what kind of what function you can use on your smart contract, okay? Because just connecting to it, he doesn't know what function there is available, okay? So you create a file, you import ethers. I call this faucet ABI, okay, because this is what it is, application binary interface. And then the code that you put here, it's what the JSON file that I'll show you here, okay? It's you go into artifacts, contract, let's say faucet. You take whatever is inside this ABI and you bring it into this file here, okay? And you paste it here. That's it. This is an array, and you paste the object that's the JSON object from the other file, and you paste it here, okay? And then we call the contract function this contract function, okay? So this is gonna return a connection to our contract, okay? This is how our front end is gonna know. So once we connect to the blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, this is how it's gonna know. Hey, you want to talk with which smart contract, okay? So it takes the address, the ABI, and the signer or the provider that we're gonna give it soon, okay? The address is the address that we got from deploying our contract that you need to save somewhere. This faucet ABI is the object that we created here, which contains all our function. And the provider, I'm gonna show you in a minute what is the provider, okay? It's gonna be the MetaMask provider. So you do this for all these three files, okay? Once you've done this, you go into your app or whatever. I created like all these variables because I don't want to every time call. You're gonna see here, okay? I'll tell you what it does. First, we need to check if we have MetaMask, okay? We're connecting to the blockchain through MetaMask. So whoever wants to come on your app needs to have MetaMask. What MetaMask does, what I just showed you, it injects a global API into the website visited by the users at window.ethereum, okay? This API allows website to request users Ethereum accounts, read data from blockchain the user is connected to, and suggest that users sign messages and transactions, which is what we want to do with our application, okay? So you could request users, read data from blockchain that the user is connected to, and sign transactions, okay? Which is what we want to do. So I'm not gonna go through every single line of code, okay? You could go and look at the API. It explains, kind of not bad. But what we need is a provider, okay? Provider, what it was, let's read it again. Provider is a connection to the Ethereum network, okay? So we're using MetaMask to connect to the Ethereum network, okay? Then you need an account, okay? So what this does is provider.send. What this does is, if you go through here, see you can request user accounts. That let me see if I can find the function for you. Methods, was it in methods? Where was it? Each send transaction, change account change, connect, disconnect, change account. Where the hell is it? Okay, whatever. This, you could find it in the somewhere in this API here. What it does is it requests the accounts, okay? Because you need an account to sign your transactions. So, and I think this one, .send, is not the one for the MetaMask. It's actually the one that's like wrapped into this Ether.js, okay? But it does the same thing. It returns you all the addresses, okay? Which I put it to accounts. And then you need a signer. From what I understood, every transaction has to be signed. So you need like a wallet address, and you need to sign this transaction with your wallet address, okay? Or else nobody's gonna know who did what. So this is what this function does, okay? That provider that get signer, this is what it does. It gets a kind of gets like a wallet address that's gonna sign all these transactions, okay? And I just see, I created some variables here, so I don't want to repeat myself every time. So once you have a provider and a signer, this function here, remember, it's exactly the one that we created here, where we put our address, our ABI, and remember here how to put a provider that goes here. It's exactly what this is. So I'm calling this one, I'm passing in the provider, and I'm whatever is returned. So this is gonna be our smart contract, okay? This is how I connected to it. So, and then I set it to set SMT contract. So every time I want to call a function, so let's say I want to call buy chicken from the SMT smart contract, I'll go like buy chicken, okay? And he's gonna know what function I'm calling because we passed in the ABI that we specified in this folder here, okay? Very easy stuff, guys, very easy. I'm also taking whoever is connected and setting it to set wallet address, okay? I have two other functions that does pretty much the same thing, but so when someone changes an account, so if you go into my app, when someone changes account, it changes the info here, okay? So let's say I go like test 4, see how it changes the info. So to keep track of that, I need to know when an account has been changed, okay? So what I'm doing here, okay, is I'm pretty sure it's the wallet listener here that I made. Okay, so the MetaMask, this is like some kind of events, okay? It emits an event. When you change account, it emits an event. So what I'm doing here, I'm telling this guy, hey, when someone changes an account, I want to set the address. When someone changes the account, it returns this. I want to set my wallet address to whatever is returned from here, okay? The first address that has been returned. And by doing this, I have a use effect here that I put the wallet address. So every time the wallet address changes, it changes the display here. It shows you your info instead of keeping it the same, okay? But it's a let's see if I have anything else that has to do with the wallet. Get current wallet. I don't know why I made this one. I'm not so sure. I think I followed the tutorial, but connect wallet. So this is it. When your app runs, not your app runs, you need to, when whoever comes to your website clicks connect, it calls this function, okay? We check if this guy has a MetaMask or he doesn't have. If he doesn't have, we cannot connect to the blockchain with MetaMask, okay? We cannot use it as a provider. So let's say he does have MetaMask, we get a provider, we ask for the accounts on whatever is connected there. It assigns an address, because we need to sign every We need to sign every transaction, so we need like a wallet address. This is what it is. And then with this provider, we pass it to our smart contract, and it returns us our smart contract. Okay, this is how we communicate with our smart contract on the blockchain. Okay, I'll show you. I'll actually show you this one. Okay, book a dive. It's always the same process. Okay, always the same process. So in here, I have to approve the transaction. Okay, so I have a function here. So when you want to call a function, you need a signer. Okay, I think not all the function need a signer. I think if it's just read, if I remember correctly, if it's just reading a data, I think you could just so like how I'm getting the client info. I'm not sure if you need a signer or not. Okay, I'll have to check. But I think if it's just read, you don't need a signer. You could just call the function. I'm not sure 100%. But here, this is an instance of our token contract that we got with our provider here. You see set token contract. So this is our this is the contract that I want to talk to. Okay, so first I have to connect it to it, and then it returns me what does forgot what returns unused interest of the contract but connected to provider or signer. Okay, so we sign it, and then we call the function on our smart contract. I call the approve function because I need to approve the transaction before the client can transfer me some money, what I talked to you about in the last video. Okay, and then in my book diving here, I do exactly the same thing. I connect to the smart contract that I want to call the function to. I sign it, I put the signer, call the book scuba function, and so here I also call the get activity by address. I think this is how I display the activities of each client in my on the front end. But this is how you do all the function calls. First, you need to connect it to it. You need to connect to the. Let me see exactly what word they use here. Global API into website visited by users at window.ethereum. This API allows website to request users Ethereum accounts, read data from blockchain, and the user is connected to, and suggest that the user sign message. So basically, you talk to your smart contracts to this. Okay. I'm pretty sure if you don't have a MetaMask, I think I read about it, you could go like you could connect through Infora somehow. I think it's let me see. I think if you go into providers, and I think it's here. PEP is a popular method for interacting with the Ethereum and is available on all major Ethereum nodes. So you could somehow give this as a provider, and you could also connect it to it, but I've never done it this way. I'll have to go check it out. Okay, so you make sure the guy has a MetaMask installed. You use MetaMask as a provider. You get the account with the Ethereum.request account, and you could see all these functions in this API. Okay, I just can't find it right now, but it's very easy to understand. I went through it today. It's very easy to understand, even if you're a beginner. You need a signer. You need to sign every transaction that you send to the blockchain. We do this by calling provider.getSigner, and then we call our we get an instance of our smart contract here that we created here. Pass in the provider. You put in the address, the Faucet API. These API calls, we got them from and when we compiled it and we deployed it, it gave us these files, this JSON file. Everything is inside this JSON file. Okay, put that there. Once you have these instances, then it's just like a regular programming, almost like a regular web app. You just call some function, except that to call this function, you need to have a signer, which is a wallet, and you need to somehow connect your front end with the back end. Let's say you have a database, and in this case the database you connect it through through MetaMask, and I'm pretty sure MetaMask passes by Infura, but man, I forgot how this thing works. I really forgot what this was. It says, I know it's like an endpoint. To me, it's kind of like a database that you send requests. So I think instead of like running all these testing smart contracts on the Ethereum, this guy created like a node on the Ethereum blockchain, and you just run everything in their network. So it's Ethereum network, but on the nodes of these guys. But I think that's what I read. Okay, I'm not sure about that. So once you get a instance of your smart contract, very easy. All you do is create functions. You call the connect function to your smart contract with the signer, and then you just call your function, and that's it. Oof, that was a long video, man. I hope you guys learned something or understood something. Okay, it's really not complicated, but you should try to build something on your own. Okay, it's the only way to learn. I watch tutorials, and after so many tutorials you still have like so many questions. So the best thing is try to create your own app. And how I did it is I went step by step. Okay, first I was like, okay, how do I send coins from this account to this account? Then I'm like, okay, so how do I create my own token? So I create my own token. How do I send my token from this guy to this guy? And then I was like, okay, now I want to receive. So how the hell do I receive? And then you have to use transfer from. Then you have to learn about approve and allowance and all that. So step by step, that's how I learned, and that's how I got to this. Okay, the front end is garbage, but I really don't care. It's just to have a visual. Okay, so hopefully you learned something, guys, and see you next time.